Good morning, everyone. My name is Holly, and I'm a gardener here in Northwest Florida. I am so excited for today. It is absolutely gorgeous. I know it'll get hotter as the day goes, but right now, perfect. It is finally planting day. I have been waiting for this for what seems like forever. I started my tomatoes way too early, started my peppers right on time. I'm pretty proud of myself. This is my first time starting my seeds instead of buying starts, and you can see them right here. They look so good. I'm so proud of them. So with that, let's get right to it. I have made extensive garden plans. Whether I follow them or not, I do not know, but I tried. So I'll share those with you. I've actually done them all on my iPad. Props to anyone who uses Procreate because you are a master. Like, if you could create art in there, color me impressed. This is just absolutely crazy. So let's see if you can see this. So I've got my plans for my large garden that you just saw behind me. This is to scale, so I'll probably be following this one as close as I can. I just don't know that I started enough squash, so I'll just start those from seed. A lot of things like okra and flowers and beans, those will all be started from seed. Hopefully you could see this view a little bit better. That other one had too much of a glare on it. I was saying I dropped the ball on herbs. I didn't start many, so I'm going to try and put some seeds in the ground, see if those come up. If not, I might just have to bite the bullet and buy some starts. Either way, it's going to be beautiful. I cannot wait to get these plants in the ground. I do also have a raised bed garden, and I will show that separately. I also have separate plans for that, but wanted to start on the big garden, getting everything planted. Then we'll move on to the raised bed garden. So let's get to it. Oh boy, first seeds going into the ground. I'm excited and nervous. First off is okra, Clemson Spineless to be exact. I grew this time last year. It did really well. I did get transplants. Everything I got last year was transplants. A little about the garden though, since I'm putting seeds in the ground, and it's good to know. You'll see me digging a lot deeper than the seed needs. To prep these garden beds, I didn't necessarily do the no-till method. We have very thick grass out in this field, so we did till this whole area, and I weeded it multiple times, but the grass was coming in so fast and thick. So we actually put cardboard down on this entire space, and I measured out the rows. So we have 3-foot gardening rows with compost topped on the boxes, then 3-foot pathways with cypress mulch. So it alternates throughout so that we have pathways. But what I'm doing is digging deep enough where I'm cutting through the cardboard so that the seeds' roots can actually penetrate when they get down there. It is pretty thick actually, so hopefully that does okay. But that being said, here goes nothing. I think I've got enough. I'm going to do 2 seeds per hole just to make sure. It does say to put these 3 feet apart, but I'm only doing about 2 feet. That's about what I did last year. They did good, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I mean, like, you got to put some muscle into that. This compost is very mulch-like. It's 50% broken down hardwood, but it doesn't seem all that broken down. So hopefully the seeds don't have any issues. These are bigger seeds, so I think they should be fine. Seeds want to grow. Not going to worry about it. All right, one side complete. Time to get to the other. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on that side. I am curious. Yes, I am curious how that equals up with my plan over there. So I'm gonna go glance at that real quick. One, two. So it looks like I have 10 over there. I only had 8 in my plan. Definitely gonna be a little bit closer because I realize now that in my excitement I have measured wrong. So I'm a couple inches off. So it's like an inch or two short of 1.5 feet. I think that'll be fine. 3 foot to 1.5 feet is, oh, it says 18 inches. 3 foot rows, 18 inches apart. Okay, that's fine. I got this. Sometimes you just got to give yourself a pep talk, you know? I got this. So on this one, I'm going kind of in between the other two plants, so we can have like a staggered look. I did leave a little bit of room at this side over here to plant some flowers, and I think that'll be pretty. There's definitely a lot of flowers spread in throughout this bed, and I'm excited for that. I just hope one of these days my video isn't, well, the deer came and ate everything. We do not have a fence on the back of the field. Not that it would matter because these deer around here jump everyone's fence. However, my lovely husband has ordered me some deer repellent light things. When the deer come in the yard and get in that certain motion zone, it flashes and puts off a ultrasonic frequency. I've never used anything like that, but we'll see. I didn't have any issues last year, but we have been noticing a lot more deer and rabbits. And last year, I only had the raised beds. I didn't do an in-ground garden last year. This should be a little bit different, having this open right where the deer and rabbits can get to it. Hopefully not. We're also going to get some invisible fence, which is a spray that the deer apparently hate. It is made out of just random stuff like eggs, and apparently it doesn't smell super good, and it's not supposed to smell good to them, so it just keeps them away by that. Let me know in the comments if you have something that works for deer. I'd be glad to try just about anything just to save this. I've put a lot of work into it, and it would really be not as fun if a deer came and enjoyed it all, when I would love to have my family enjoy it all. Got my Jack B. Little pumpkin seeds. Are these not the cutest? It's literally in the description. Cute, weighs just 8 ounces, flat, ribbed, and bright orange. Top selling type, good eating too. It says to plant 18 to 36 inches apart, so I'm going to put 2 on each side of this trellis, and hopefully we'll have a very full, very cute little pumpkin trellis. I cannot wait to walk through these. My husband put up 3 arch trellises along this pathway, and I cannot wait to see them full of stuff. You'll notice right there beside the trellises, here and here, these patches here, this is what this looked like before I put the cardboard and compost and mulch down. This has been weeded multiple times. It comes back really fast. But this is all zinnias. So I'm hoping that they can grow fast enough that they will overtake this grass. They've already been planted. They're already popping up. I'm really excited. This is sunflowers. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll have a big thing of sunflowers, a big thing of zinnias, and then full arches and a full garden. But back to the Jack B. Littles. All right, so 2 on this. This is a 3-foot row. So let's see, about a foot in. Need to get a little closer, I think. Right there. Oof. I don't know if y'all can hear my chickens. They're having a field day over there. We do have 3 turkeys and I'm not even sure how many chickens. Less than 20, more than 10. Terrible, terrible counting method, but it is what it is. Every time we go to the farm swap, we come home with another chicken. It's a problem. Or maybe it's not, I don't know. But I have so many eggs. Not a bad problem, not complaining, but my neighbor's definitely getting bombarded with eggs. I guess they're not complaining either, but I'm always texting them like, are you ready for more? I just cannot eat that many. I'm going to eventually try water glassing some. I heard that was a good way to preserve eggs. I've never done it, but interested to try. All right, Jack B. Little's planted. I'll plant the other side later. I need to put down some compost still, but this row is done, minus the flowers at the end. 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows complete. So for row number 2, we have lima beans. Let me get a little closer so you can actually see. We have lima beans. These are Ford Hook Bush lima beans. I'm going to butcher how you say this. This is Aji cachucha peppers. I started these inside and I'm so excited. They look so cute. My husband and I are not a fan of spicy peppers, and these are supposed to be less hot than a jalapeno. So I'm excited to try these and try and incorporate some new foods into our cooking. My husband has a thing for peppers. He loves peppers. I think we have 10 varieties or more of peppers that we're trying to grow this year. And that was all him. Every pepper he saw, he was like, oh yeah, let's do that one. And mine was tomatoes. So I've got a ton of different varieties of tomatoes. I think I started 60 different tomato plants. I have no idea where I'm going to put all those tomato plants, but I've started about 60. And same thing, I'm really excited to try all the different varieties, see what works best in our climate. This year is going to be all about exploring, seeing what works best for us, what works in our area. It is really hot. We normally have to have a shade cloth in the summer, at least we did last year. So we'll see what happens. But the last one on this row is going to be an heirloom blend summer squash. I'm not sure if it's going to be a green zucchini or a yellow squash. No idea, but I started 2 of them. We're going to see what these 2 do and hope for the best. I've got everything lined out over here, ready to go. And I've got some awfully sad marigolds that I picked up at the local big box store. We're going to see if we could bring those back to life. They were on sale, so I couldn't just leave them to suffer. I'm going to let them suffer in my garden or thrive. Hopefully thrive, but I don't know, bad joke, I guess. Also, I did get some mycorrhizal inoculant for the plants that I started. This is supposed to help the roots with uptake of nutrients and water. Hopefully help with some of transplant shock. These have been hardening off for about 3 weeks, although they are still getting a little bit burnt. You'll see when I pull out the tomatoes. These say 4 inches apart, rows 20 inches apart. So plants 4 inches. Wow, I don't have many. So I'm probably going to do 2 short rows, about 6 inches apart. I know that may be a little bit of wasted space, but this is what I've got. It's what I'm working with. You'll hear my chickens going insane. Someone laid an egg. They're all throwing a party. I love how they congratulate each other. Like they're so excited for each other. That or surprised, I'm really not sure. But I like to think that they're throwing a party for each other. Like they're so excited. Good thing about this compost is it hasn't rained or anything for about 3 days. It does rain often here. But it's very moist. So, I mean, the top's dry, but actually down in there, it's nice and moist. So, hopefully that helps. Last year, I was having to water like every morning, every afternoon. It was a lot. We don't have irrigation out here. This is in the back of our property. And I know that's something you should think about before, but the way our land is set up, there's not a way to really do anything any closer to where our main water is. And eventually we'll do something with irrigation or drip watering or something. We might even get a well put in back here just for the garden, but that's further down the road, one project at a time. So that's beans. And now on to the peppers. Aji cachuchas. Am I saying that right? Someone tell me if I'm not saying that right. I'm probably gonna mess up a lot of stuff. Actually, my mom, she asked me how I thought you should say calendula. I originally thought it was calendula, and she laughed pretty hard, but at least now I know. She laughed with me, not at me. So I want to show you, I'm going to grab the camera. Alright, so I wanted to show you how this method works. So we have the original native soil down here. I actually did get it soil tested, and the soil actually came back great. They didn't have any recommendations for amendments. The problem is it's pretty sandy. That's a piece of the cardboard, and that's a piece of the mulch, but it's pretty sandy and doesn't retain moisture really well. Actually, you know how I said it's been a few days? This is really moist right now. So that's good. That gives me hope that things aren't going to dry out. But you can see the different layers. So we have the native soil, we have the cardboard right here peeking through that I dug through, and then we have a few inches of compost. Feel like your field trip? See the soil? Comes with a little scoop. I'm assuming the bigger one is a tablespoon. It looks like it. The smaller one looks like a teaspoon. Probably be wearing gloves. I really don't know. This is natural, organic. I'm only going to do one. That just looks like a lot. And I am going to clip the lower leaves that are touching the soil. Try and prevent bacteria and fungus from getting on them. There we go. First pepper planted. My husband will be so happy. You can see my neighbor. I think she's going to come out and say hey. So I may mute this for a little bit. Keep working. Oh, and for those of you wondering why I started my squash and cucumbers and stuff inside, squash is generally a plant that does better directly sowed by seed. It grows very fast. We have deer, we have rabbits, we have birds that love to eat the seeds, and worst of all, we have squash bugs. Bad. Actually, you know, not even squash bugs. We have pickle worms, and pickle worms are my nightmare. I hear everyone talk about squash bugs, and they sound awful, terrible. But pickle worms, they're bad. I didn't get not one squash last year. I put them in organic. I take that back. I got two tiny squash, no longer than my pointer finger, and they just did not do good. So I'm hoping that putting them in the ground a little bit early is going to give them a nice start, and hopefully I can get some fruit going on these before the bugs come out in full. But you don't want to start these more than like 3 weeks before you're going to plant them outside. If you are going to start them from, or if you're going to plant them out as transplants, because, oh, that's a big piece of grass. Because, like I said, the roots don't like getting disturbed. You let them get too big and they're just not going to transplant well. You can almost plant a seed at that point and it catch up in time. Right, those are in there. Get some marigolds going. Let's see, do I just want to do marigolds? Or I want to do something else? Decisions. Maybe 2 marigolds, 2 something else. Let me go see what I've got. So that took entirely way longer than planned. I'm going to do some asters. I started a bunch. They're a lot like the, what's that? Oh, calendula, where I kind of planted it and then left it. It definitely needs to be put in the ground. So I have my lima beans here. I'm going to do one here and one here. It's important to note that this is the Matsumoto formula of asters, and they can be planted, it's suggested anywhere from like 6 to 12 inches apart. I'm reading that most people prefer about 9 inches, but I'm just going to put one here, one here, one here, and one there. And I think that'll be good. This one has 2 in it. And I'm going to plant them both together. That's cute. You know what? I'm going to put the other ones in the middle because there's plenty of room. And then I could just use up this tray. I'm going to put this teeny tiny little one in case it doesn't make it. Yeah, there's a lot of grass trying to come up under this cardboard, so hopefully it does its job. Right here, there's a ton of grass. Just gonna dig that out, actually. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of weeding. I think part of why these big box store zinnias didn't do very well, these cells do not hold water. Or the soil, whatever they use to start these. Oh goodness, got the seeds. All right, we'll just spread those around too. Why not? More the merrier. But they are so dry. I water them twice a day and they just stay dry. We'll see if that one makes it. If not, there's a dried seed head right here. We'll just spread them around. All right, second row complete. So I know some people plant their tomatoes deep, and that's great. You can. Epic Gardening actually did a really good video recently about planting tomatoes deep or regular, and it was pretty interesting. Honestly, I don't feel like it makes a huge difference. If mine have crazy stems or they're really leggy, I would plant them deep. But right now they don't have bad stems and they aren't leggy, and I'm just gonna plant them as they are. Maybe some of them will plant deeper just to see. Why not, right? Why not try? Then I can know for next year. I want to show y'all. This looks so good to me. That's a nice tomato plant. Let me pat myself on the back. I'm proud of myself. So since I've had them hardening off for about 3 weeks, they do have very, very strong stems. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but that's thicker than a pencil. It looks good. Proud of it. Oh, you're getting a stab. Put that one in there. How cute. This one's got a really long stem. So let's plant this one a little deep. We'll see on this one. This will be one of our test subjects. Looks great otherwise. I actually hate to cut off the bottom leaves, but it is a necessary task. Can't. Last year we did have blight. Oh, look at me. Why can't I remember this? Last year I did struggle with blight on my tomatoes, but I started them very, very late too. I know I said that. They did not grow much until it started cooling off again for the fall. Then they took off. But the first frost took every single tomato. I got, I think, one fresh tomato, My mom actually took the rest home when they were green and let them ripen on the counter. She really enjoyed them, so I'm glad they did not go to waste. There's another shell. Wonder where they get this compost from. It's supposed to be 16.6% mushroom compost. I got this from a local place. 16% broken down chicken manure. 16% composted hardwoods. I think I said 50% earlier. And then 50% composted barks. Oh, okay, I'm glad that was it looked like a worm. And I'm okay with earthworms, but did not look like an earthworm. Grossed me out. Anyways, where I was going with the compost is you find all sorts of stuff in this. Shells, and it is pretty broken down for it being so much wood. Hope it does well. I'll take that one off too, it just doesn't look good. Okay. Oof. So I did not start loofah ahead of the time. It does take about 110 days, it says, to get fruit. We have a very long growing season here. I don't think our last frost date is, I'll have to update it and put it on the screen, but it's not until like October or November. We have way more than 110 days. I didn't see a need to start this inside, but hopefully I can have this whole trellis full of loofah. And it says, group of 3 seeds every 12 to 18 inches. Plant against trellis. So I'm going to do loofah on both sides. I'm going to do 2 separate sections over here, just like I did with the Jack B. Little pumpkins. Doggone. Pretty tough. That's because I'm on the edge of the cardboard. It does say to soak these or nick with a nail clipper. I did not do that. Maybe I should go do that real quick. See if my actual clippers will do that. They are new clippers. Who knows? Oh no. Alright, loofah is planted, and I'll be putting some on the opposite side of this trellis too, just like the Jack B. Little pumpkins, but I do need to put down some compost first. Alright, I'm going to take a break, get a hat on, it's getting quite hot out here, get some water, and then come back. Still got a lot to do. Might have to try and speed this up, less talking, more working sort of thing. I'm not always great at, so we'll try. I've got my hat, got my sunglasses, got my hair back, and I've had a break, so I'm ready to get back to it. I'm going to plant a lemon spice jalapeno, a lemon drop pepper, a regular jalapeno, and a pumpkin spice jalapeno. This area is going to be straw flowers that I started. Once again, very, very ill taken care of. I have not really even fertilized them. They're still in a sterile soil. I'm so surprised they're still alive. Honestly, they might be super stunted when I finally get them in the ground, but we'll see what we can do. If not, I'll plant some seeds for something later. And then down here at the end, we're going to do some organic tender green bush beans. As much that will fit in this 6-foot square right here. I have quite a few seeds for this, so I think I could do 2 per hole. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to try not to talk too much, just to let y'all enjoy watching, and I'll be back with the next one. on the next row, where you see the squash lined up right here, from this side, we're starting with this Tondo Scuro di Piacenza. I'm so sorry. I know that's wrong. I just know it is. Tondo Scuro di Piacenza. That's the best I got. Sound it out. I don't know. They're supposed to be these green, round looking squash zucchini. It says they're rich, dark green, round, very flavorful, perfect for home or market. Then in the middle, I'm going to do some lemon squash. They're also round, but they're yellow round squash. These say our most popular summer squash, the shape, size, and color of a lemon, huge yields and pest resistant, delicious and prolific. I sure hope so, man. I hope I get some squash this year. And then, last but not least, the two on the end, oop, I'd help if I got that out of the way, are summer patty pan scallop blend squash. I just think these are absolutely adorable. These and those little pumpkins, I don't know what it is about them. They are so cute to me. I tried them last year. They didn't do well, but I tried to start them in the hottest months in a bed that I have not amended at all, so I think that was my fault. I didn't put much effort into it, if I'm being honest. So anyways, without further ado, I'll get to that and leave y'all back to it. Those are scallop, those are lemon, those are those Tondo, the rest of it. I need one of those little knee benches where you could sit on the bench or you could put your knees on it. That'd be extra helpful today. I don't know why I haven't got one before. There might be one in the shed, actually. My husband is a welder by trade, and I know he uses those sometimes on jobs. I don't know if he has it with him or if it's in the shed. Might be worth going to check. It's falling apart, which I didn't want to happen because, like I said, you're not supposed to disturb the roots. Or did I say it? I can't remember. My mic actually died after or during the last video, part of the video, so I had to restart it. And I don't know what was caught or not, so I'm sorry. It says to plant these in heavily amended soil, but the soil from the testing from the agricultural office came back that the soil was actually pretty high or good in everything. And I topped it with compost. So honestly, I'm just gonna see what that does. I'm not gonna put anything else on it right now. But I do plan on fertilizing every couple of weeks. So I think they'll be fine. This poor little fella right here did not get big. I know you can't probably see it well from there. I think it had a moisture issue. anyways, it doesn't look too hot. The roots don't look bad. So I'll give it a chance. If not, I'll start another one from seed. All right, that was quick and easy. Oh, I've got marigolds in between it. I started some Eskimo marigolds. They're beautiful. They're white. And I'm going to put them between the squash. I'm actually going to alternate. I have some basil seeds. And I didn't start them. But last year I just sprinkled basil seeds down. And they made it. So I'm actually going to alternate between basil and marigolds. Like basil marigold. And then in the back marigold basil. Just to put some herbs in here, maybe deter some pests. I know I've heard that French marigolds are the only marigolds that technically prevent pests. I'm really not sure how true that is. So if they don't, I guess if anything, they're pretty, right? So as far as basil goes, I have some cinnamon basil. I actually have some sweet Italian basil. And then this was a bunch of purple basil I grew last year. I saved all the seeds from it. It smells so good. Man, it smells so good. Actually, my mom saved all the seeds from it this last year. Thanks, Mom. But I'm going to alternate these two and probably plant the sweet Italian basil somewhere else. I think I also have another type of basil. I want to say lemon basil, but maybe not. I'm going to start right here. Back. Then I'll have back, front, back, front. Wait. Front, front, front. Front, front, front. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Need the marigold stuff. I honestly don't think I need this with marigolds, but I'm going to try it just to see. I'll do some with it and some without it. So in the ones in the back, I did it with them. The ones in the front, I will do without. I think that's a good plan. I have one left in here, so I think I'm just going to put it down here at the end. I haven't decided what I'm going to do here, but I think it's going to be birdhouse gourds. I just really like the look of them, and I love birds, so I think that it'd be really cute to have little birdhouses that I made from those. My mom loves birds. Everyone in my family likes birds, so I don't know, maybe that could be a cute gift one year. Just grow some birdhouse gourds and decorate them or paint them. I don't know. Some basil seeds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of these, 3 of each. I'm gonna do this one regular. It says just a 1/4 inch, so I'm just gonna pop through the cardboard, loosen it up, make my little divot. Okay. You know, I am going to do birdhouse cords there, so I'm going to go ahead and make my spots for those too while I'm at it. Really trying not to crowd everything. Last year in the raised beds, I tried square foot gardening. I don't think it went bad, really, although I didn't pay attention to companion planting, and I had a bunch of stuff that didn't work well in the same bed. For example, mustard greens. Mustard greens release something into the soil or something. Honestly, I'm not real sure on the specifics, but they release something into the soil that prohibits the growth of other stuff around it. Mustard greens did fantastic. The rest of the stuff really didn't do all that well. But I got so many mustard greens. I was sick of mustard greens, giving mustard greens to the neighbors. Said I wasn't going to grow any this year, but that's a lie. I'm going to. So, let's see. I'm going to alternate. So, seeds for basil are tiny. And I'm just going to put a little scoop in. This is the purple basil. Kind of cover that. Skip that one. And more purple basil. Can't tell if any went in that one. Another little scoop. Probably got 100 seeds in there. Can't see them. Basil seeds are so small. I still can't see them. I just need to look before I put them in there. That would be a smart thing to do. Okay, that one definitely has some seeds. Ha! I still can't see them. So there's probably like a lot in there. A lot. A whole pack a lot. I guess that's a perk of saving your seeds. If you save your seeds, you have way too many seeds. Way too many. Alright, so in the back, that's... Did I do that wrong? Did one there. Didn't do one there. Uh-oh. I think I did one there. Wait a minute. I should have done one there. I'm losing it. That's regular. Cinnamon. Regular. The cinnamon, regular cinnamon. Yeah, I'll get there one day. Again, cannot tell. Golly. I'm gonna have 50 billion basil come up right here. Right, there's definitely some in that one. Alright, now I have to be a little more careful with the cinnamon basil, but it's not mixed in with a bunch of leaves and twigs. So I think that one I'll be able to tell that I actually have some in there instead of just trying to figure it out. Oh yeah, you can see these. It's crazy though, how I was just saying, saving your seeds versus not saving your seeds. Let me kind of show you. So this is from one plant, and there are thousands of seeds in here. Thousands. This, I'm going to have to come around the camera. This is from the seed company. You can see, I'm not sure how many are in there, which this is a free pack, so I'm not complaining at all. I'm just showing you the difference between saving your seeds versus ordering your seeds. The difference, like it could save you so much money saving your seeds. I'm trying to do better at that. That's a goal for this year, is to save seeds. Speaking of goals for this year, I have yet to speak of things that I'd like to accomplish. So, things I would like to accomplish this year with the garden. Do better at seed saving. Last year, I was still really working on learning everything. This year, I'm still working on learning everything. I mean, honestly, that has not changed. But I'd also like to work on learning how to seed save. There's a few things I did save last year, like the basil. My mom was here and she's definitely a lot more experienced than me. She saves her seeds for everything. So she saved those seeds for me, which was excellent. Really appreciate that. And so I want to do a little bit better on that this year. Oh, it's windy. Then other things I'd like to do better this year. Last year I didn't really get enough harvest to preserve any of it. But this year I would like to preserve a lot. I mean, I have a lot of peppers, a lot of tomatoes. I'd love to can some crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, stuff like that. I really would just love to do that. I did save from our stuff. I made a ton of pickles last year. I made peach preserves, which wasn't from our stuff. We got a great deal on some flats, so I made peach preserves. That's really all I had extra of is the pickles, cucumbers. But I'd like to do a lot more canning this year. I have everything to do it. I just need to grow this stuff to make it happen. I realized I was getting super sunburnt, and despite living in Florida, I hate being sunburnt. So I went and put on some more protective clothes. Wow, those are some crazy looking seeds. I'm going to keep talking about goals in just a second, but check these out. So this is the birdhouse gourds I was talking about growing just a second ago, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in the ground. But look at the seeds. Kind of weird looking. They don't look like a normal pumpkin or squash. Nifty. They like rich soil and a lot of heat. Perfect. A lot of heat is what I'm going for here. It's definitely hot. Alright. I'm just planting 2 in there. If they don't come up, I'll plant some more. It says the popular gourd for making bottles, bird houses, and many other useful items fun to grow. I'm sure they will be fun to grow. They're going to look so good on this trellis. So anyways, I'll tell y'all the rest of my goals, and then I'll tell you what I'm growing in this bed. So let's talk and plant. So more goals for this year other than canning and preserving is, and I've briefly mentioned this, to figure out what works best in our garden. We're growing a lot of different varieties for that reason, specifically tomatoes, peppers, squash. Something I struggled with last year, I only did one of each variety, and I mean, it was simple, but I still don't know what works best. Last year, the which one? Boston pickling cucumbers did super well. I do plan to maybe incorporate those this year in my raised beds. That's where I grew them last year, is raised beds. I did a simple Florida weave trellising system for those, and honestly they were easy until the pickle worms came in and absolutely devoured them. But just off a couple vines I got so many cucumbers, and it was absolutely amazing. I really liked those. So this year I'm going to do 2 different types of cucumbers. Funny enough, I'm allergic to cucumbers, melons, and bananas. And I've recently learned that's actually something called oral allergy syndrome. If you are severely allergic to ragweed, it causes you to react to those proteins that are also found in melons, cucumbers, and bananas. So that was really cool or interesting to find out. I mentioned earlier I'm doing some allergy shots, so maybe at some point I will be able to eat those again without having too many issues. I could eat them now, but melons taste really spicy to me, which is odd. I could taste about the first bite, and after that, I'm done for. So I'll be doing 2 types of cucumbers. I'm actually not sure what it is, Munger cucumber, I think. And I'll have to go buy some starts for Boston pickling cucumbers. I was trying not to buy any starts, and then I realized that I didn't have any of those going. In my second variety of cucumbers I started, none of them germinated. So I'm just going to go buy the Boston pickling. I know those did really well, and I'd like to do them again for some more pickles. Another thing is goals for this year. I would like to not get so disturbed, not really disturbed, distraught maybe, about the different things that happen in the garden that can be upsetting, like heat and bugs. The bug pressure was extreme last year. The leaf-footed bugs and the pickle worms were crazy. I've already seen some aphids this year. The leaf-footed bugs are already out. I could assume that once I'm putting this stuff in, the pickle worms will be soon to come. But my goal for this year is to not let that stress me. Bugs are just a part of it. It's part of gardening. I'm doing this all organic. I don't think I've mentioned that before. I can use stuff such as BT. That will get rid of pickle worms. It was pretty effective last year when I finally figured out I could use that. So I can use that. I just like to try and see if I can do without it for as long as possible. I might resort to it, but I keep hearing that if you don't use stuff like that, your beneficial bug population will get higher. And I would love to see an increase in the beneficial bugs in the garden. I have seen some ladybugs. I have seen tons of bees. We actually have some friends around here who are beekeepers. And we've got a lot of native bees here in our yard. So I'd like to increase those populations. However, using the BT will still affect them too. And it's a big system. So like, let's just say aphids. Aphids, you could treat for aphids. But you know what else also eats aphids? Ladybugs. And if you give the ladybugs time to come eat the aphids, you'll have a bigger ladybug population. But I'm really quick to jump to spraying the ladybug, or not the ladybugs, the aphids. This year I might try to spray them with water or more natural ways before I resort to maybe the BT and stuff, just because I do want to increase that beneficial bug population. So those are the main goals for this year. Preserve, learn what does best, increase beneficial bug population, and just don't get so discouraged. Allow myself to learn and grow from the things like heat, learn what does best based off that, and just figure it out. This is supposed to be relaxing, stress relief. I'm not going to let it stress me. That's the goal. I guess I could tell you what I'm growing now that I've made it through that, and I'll show you the seed packets afterwards. Down at the end down there that I just planted, well, I guess I hadn't planted them, have I? So I'll still tell you what's down at the end that I haven't planted. Down here, this is blue Hubbard squash. I've never grown blue Hubbard squash. I did learn that it is a proven trap crop for squash bugs and other pests. So I'm putting that in to draw those in. And when I see the pickle worms, I can pick them off and dispose of them. But hopefully they avoid my other crops, like my other squash, long enough where I could get yield from them. So that's the goal. Let them eat the one that I don't really care about. so that I could get the ones that I do care about. Sorry, that was awfully spacey. I apologize. Like I said, one track minded. I'm surprised I've done this good so far. All right, everything I just planted here is fruit bowl yarrow. So this in the middle is fruit bowl yarrow. It is another one that I've completely just not taken care of. I have not enriched the soil. I have not done anything. So hopefully they do good. This is a perennial in my zone. I'm in zone 9A now. It was 8B until they recently changed it. It says that this makes large 2 to 4 inch pollinator friendly flower umbrellas that range in color. They're 2 foot tall and are great for bees. So that's awesome. It says to plant them 24 inches apart. I did plant them a little bit closer than that. They prefer full sun, well draining soils, and they like dry soil. So that's for me. I tend to forget. So hopefully those do good. They're absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? So pretty. The blue Hubbard squash, the trap crop squash I was just telling you about, that I am planting down right, where are they? Right there? No, right there. Yes, right there. The blue Hubbard squash, they look crazy, don't they? It says they're great for baking pies and soup. I don't anticipate getting any. If I do, that's awesome. But that's not the goal. The goal is to use them as a trap crop, draw the pests in so that this row right here of squash does really good and the pests go to those and I can dispose of them. The last section of stuff right here, this is more peppers. I have a Chinese giant right here. This one is another Aji Cachucha that I'm saying wrong. Feel free to laugh. If this is what makes you laugh today, I'm happy to put a smile on your face. This is a pumpkin spice, not spice, pumpkin spice jalapeno, and then a lemon drop pepper. All right. So now that I've been talking a while, I'm gonna let y'all relax for a minute while I finish this row. All right, so I went and got some food. I feel so much better. Definitely feel extra full, ate way too much. You know how when you get really hungry and then you just want to eat everything? So I was. So anyways, I'm a little out of breath, a little extra stuffed. This row, I guess, is not as planned out as the others because this is going to be peppers. This is going to be Mississippi pink eye peas. I grew these last year. They grew really well. I just didn't grow enough to really make a lot. And then this area is going to be flowers, but I'm not sure what kind yet. So got to figure that out. As far as peppers go, I still have more of the larger peppers that I started inside. And I'm going to save those for my raised beds. But I do have a bunch of Jimmy Nardello peppers that I started. I'll show them to you. They're still really small. They don't even have their first true leaves yet. But instead of transplanting them into different pots, since it's warm enough now, I'm just going to put them straight in the ground and see how they do. I don't know. Worst comes to worst. Like I keep saying, just plant something new. There's a lot of ants on this row. I hope I don't get tore up. It's one thing I just don't love is ants. Not sure if anyone loves ants, but they're really bad around here. Everyone says diatomaceous earth, or I think someone said cayenne. That didn't work for me. Diatomaceous earth, they laughed at that. I haven't tried cinnamon yet, although a lot of people said cinnamon. Tried washing them out every day. I've tried sticking holes all in their ant piles to run them out. nothing works. Like I said, I am doing this organic, so I'm not interested in harsh chemicals to kill them. But if anyone has any other ideas, I would definitely be open to it. Oh no! Fell apart. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I like a good challenge, I suppose. Another little one trying to come up. Give it a chance. I kind of buried it. Yikes. Well, still has a chance, I guess. Trying to move a little bit faster since the sun's going down. Might have to finish this tomorrow, and I'll just add to the video. Wow! Oh no! It's okay. It's okay. I'm doing so bad at this. Let's just scrape that back in there. Right. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 in this one. They're in the same block and I don't have another hole for it. So I'm just gonna let them live together. And then if one doesn't make it, then there's another one. Or if they both make it, then I'll just dig one up and move them. I think they'll be fine. Look, I have another hole. I definitely could have split those. The plant is sitting on top of the extra hole. All right. Okay. So all these are Jimmy Nardellos. I've never tried these before either, but watching a different YouTuber, and boy, they made them look so good. They were eating them straight off the vine, or not vine, but bush, the pepper plant, and they looked excellent. So I actually went back and ordered those late. I also have some banana peppers I just recently started over there, and they're the same size. Eggplants that I just started as well. So this is Southern pea, Mississippi pink eye pea. It says resistant to, I'm not even going to try and say that, Fusarium. I guess I lied. I am going to try and say it. And root knot nematode. Thankfully, I've never had a problem with root knot nematode. I'm scared to jinx myself, but so far, I have not. So it says to plant these 2 inches apart. Last year, I did 4 inches, and that seemed about right. So that's what I'm going to do this year too. Not to mention I don't have many left. So just to kind of stretch them out, I'm going to do 1 every couple inches. I don't eat that. I'm just going to mirror it on this side. And honestly, these ended up kind of needing a trellis last year. They're not supposed to be a trellis sort of bean. It says that they are bush type. I did end up trellising these last year. They didn't get super tall, but they got tall enough to need it. They'll probably fall over. So what I'm going to put here is some dahlias. Is that how you say it? Dahlias? Dahlias? I'm really not sure. I have 6 of them. It's this Dandy Improved. See if it can focus. It's just not having it. There it goes. Dandy Improved Dahlias. And it says to plant them 18 to 24 inches apart. Requires warm temps, rich soil, moderate moisture. Ideal temp is 70 to 75. I don't know if that's just for germination or in general, but if that's what it wants in general, it's going to be a little toasty, but we'll see how it does. It's getting windy. We normally have a ton of wind here. I've been surprised that it hasn't been windy today. It's been the perfect day to try and film and garden. All right, dahlias are planted. Yay. All right, so I'm going to clean up some stuff that's blowing around, and hopefully I'll still have time to get to a couple more. The sun's getting pretty low. I still need to collect the chicken eggs and put the chickens up. They're still scratching around the yard. And a few other things before tonight. So I'll see what I could get done. Wow, day 2 of planting this garden, and what a gorgeous day for it. I mean, it is sunny and a little bit of breeze, not enough to blow this tripod over as many times as it did yesterday. The birds are singing, the fruit trees have fruit growing on them, and all the plants look so gorgeous this morning. You know, in my last season of planting, my favorite activity in the morning was to come out and walk around this garden and see all the growth. And I know it doesn't change much from day to day, but there was so much peace in that. And doing that again this morning, wow, it gave me such a sense of calm. Thank you for joining me again today to finish up this large garden bed. And with that, we'll get to it. I realize I have not shown you all the different pepper varieties that I'm growing. I showed you the Aji cachuchas, but I have not shown you, can't remember if I have shown you, banana peppers, lemon spice jalapenos. I told you we don't like spicy. We do like jalapenos. We love to stuff them with cream cheese, wrap them with bacon, and throw them on the grill. Jalapeno poppers are one of our favorites. So we're trying all the jalapenos this year. Pumpkin spice jalapenos, lemon drop peppers. I honestly don't know if they are hot. Okay, so it says amazing fruity hot flavor, great for hot sauce. So maybe this is one that I can make for hot sauce as gifts. I'm probably not going to eat it, but that'd be pretty cool. A fruity hot sauce, fruity flavor. Sugar Rush Peach, and I'm really excited for these. A smoky complex heat. This is going to be another one I knew I'd probably try and make into a hot sauce, and I think that'll be really good. I don't know. I'm going to have to get into hot sauce just to make all these peppers super worth it because I do have a lot of each plant. We have Habendana. So these are supposed to have the same flavor as a habanero. That's what it is, a habanero. But these don't have any heat, so that's pretty cool. Um, I'm really excited to try these. I've never tried a habanero, so I'd like to experience what the flavor is without the heat. And then a fish pepper. I honestly got these because they're pretty. It has nice variegated, is it foliage? Is that how you say it? I heard someone else in a video this morning say it some different way. Feel free to tell me if I'm saying it wrong. Fish pepper. But look at these beautiful leaves. And the peppers themselves are variegated as well. So I think those are going to be gorgeous. It says these are fruit color from green, orange, brown, white, and red, spicy and hot, attractive, variegated foliage, superb for edible ornamental landscaping. I think these are just going to make a nice, pretty, I don't know, different plant in the garden. And then since we're on what we're growing on this row, I've lost them. Oh, here they are. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. My husband gets annoyed because I'll set my phone down and I have to leave it on loud. It has to stay on loud. If not, it disappears forever. I have no idea where it went. It has to stay on loud so I could find it. Also in this row, I'm growing bee balm. I just think this looks amazing. It says it's perennial in my zone, and um, it also is great for deer resistance and low maintenance gardens. So I'm really excited about this. We do have a lot of deer in my area, and if one thing survives, hopefully it's this. I think it'll all survive. Like I said, we've got some deer deterrent flashing lights and frequency things and some invisible fence coming. So I think we'll be okay. But the deer resistant flowers did pique my interest. Plus, they look so cool. Look at them. They're like pineapple pagodas. You know, I got to thinking this morning, gardening gives you so much to be thankful for. Thankful for beauty, for new growth. It teaches you a new appreciation for all the things you could just so easily buy in the store, how much work and effort and time it actually takes to make something beautiful like that and edible. It teaches you a new appreciation for farmers and people who, grow their own food, grow the food for us. It teaches you an appreciation for your body and movement. We really take for granted moving around. And, the soreness today from yesterday just really shows me to be thankful. This is a workout, and I'm thankful I could move up and down, that my knees work, my legs work, my arms work. I can hear the birds singing and feel the soil in my fingers, see all the beauty around me. It's just such a blessing. It really is. Such a blessing to be able to have a garden like I have, raised beds like I have, to be able to grow our own food for my family and continue to grow this space, grow my knowledge. We have such knowledge at our fingertips these days, able to just search it up online, and there's just nothing like firsthand experience. I could Google all day what a jalapeno looks like, fish pepper looks like, but growing it really gives you a new appreciation for that jalapeno. And you get so much more knowledge from putting your hands in the dirt and growing it than you ever would from Google. It's a beautiful thing. These are my little bee balms. They're absolutely tiny, and once again, just like the rest of my flowers I've planted, I did not end up doing anything with these. I started them and I kind of left them. They're still in a sterile seed starting soil. Whoa. But they did get fertilized occasionally with some fish emulsion, so they're not completely neglected, but we're gonna say they're pretty neglected. So I think them being put in the ground is gonna make them so happy. I cannot wait to see these grow and flower. These are gonna be so cool. These said they prefer dry. Wow, they prefer dry soil. I'm wondering, since this helps retain moisture, if this is a good idea to be putting in with these. I guess we'll see. This is a Habendana. Oh, broke my tag. I've got to make new tags anyways. The popsicle sticks aren't going to last. Learned that last year when I couldn't figure out what anything was. This is a Serrano. Luckily this year I'm going to have the video, so if nothing else, I'll have an excellent blog of what I grew, and I could just look back at the video and say, oh wait, that was a Serrano. this to that hole. This is Sugar Rush Peach. This is a lemon drop pepper. Can't remember if that was in that stack of seeds. I think it was. That was the one that I said was fruity and hot. Gonna have to take a break soon, get some food, even though I just started. But you know, that's the beauty of gardening. The plants will be here when I get back. It's supposed to be a beautiful day all day, but don't have to worry about the rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, I believe. So the plants will all get watered in extra nice. This is a Chinese giant pepper. I didn't have much luck with bell peppers last year. I think I got 2 bell peppers, and it seems like they took forever. I only had 2 plants. Actually, I think I only have 2 plants this year, maybe 3. But they took forever, and a worm got my very first one. Then I got smart and started covering the fruit as soon as I saw it with those organza bags, I think is what they're called. This is a pumpkin spice jalapeno, and that allowed the plants to actually grow without getting eaten up by worms. And so I got 2. They weren't big, but I was so thankful, so excited. And anything I get, I enjoy this as a hobby. Like I said, it's just relaxing. So any harvest I get is just a bonus. Just a bonus. It does look like I'm finally making a dent in this mycorrhizal inoculant. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is an Aji cachucha. This is a lemon spice jalapeno. I love pressing them into the soil. I think that's my favorite part. This is a fish pepper, and I want to show you the variegated leaves on this because they're already starting to come in. You see how they're like a whitish yellow and green already? How pretty is that? That pepper plant is going to be gorgeous. I only had 2 of these come up. There we go. Grow big and tall, buddy. Alright, so I planted that side of bee balm with the mycorrhizal inoculant. I'm not going to do it on this side just to see if it makes a difference. Since it does like a more dry soil and low maintenance. Maybe this one would do better without the extra help. I don't know. It's worth a shot. We'll see. And let us know what to do for next year. I just know they have to be so happy going into some actual soil that has some nutrient content. okay? All right. Another row done. One left. Holy moly. So beautiful. All this hard work. My vision is coming to life. And that is an amazing feeling. Wow. Wow. Last row. Are you as excited as I am? Okay, I know that was bad. So right here, I'm going to put some large orange marigolds. I'm hoping they could just flop over and kind of drape over the side. My mom sent me these seeds and we don't know exactly what kind they are, but she sent me a picture of them and they are so, so pretty. Then right here we have some Waltham butternut squash, and the goal of those is to get them to climb up both sides of this trellis. And I know you may be thinking, but Holly, you have squash or something right here. Where are those going to go? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is going to be all corn. Corn does much better in blocks than it does in rows because it's wind pollinated. So I'm going to have a big block of corn right here. I did try it in my raised beds last year. It did not do well. I got maybe 3 tiny corn. The only thing they were good for was to give to the chickens. But these two are spaghetti squash, and I'm hoping that they will grow up under the corn, like through the corn rows. I just think that would be so cute. I saw it in someone else's video, and I just have to try it. What's the worst thing that could happen? I'll have to plant again, no problem. I didn't get any spaghetti squash last year. I'm not sure what happened, if it's because I planted it too late, but I really, really love spaghetti squash and I would love to grow some. I also have some Mexican sunflowers and I'm going to plant one right here in this corner and one in that corner. I may try and put some in the corners over here as well, but I really haven't decided yet. I think it kind of depends on how much corn I do. I know I'm probably going to have to get more seeds. I didn't realize I only have 3 packs of corn seeds, so I'm definitely going to have to go get more. These are my large orange marigolds that I started. I tried to start some French dwarf marigolds from seeds I saved myself last year. They didn't do well. They have really pretty roots. I really don't know if you could see that from here. I'm going to plant these a little bit at an angle so that they can go ahead and be growing towards the trellis. I know they'll probably turn towards the sun. Once again, I know this is going to cast shade on the next row with the corn and this trellis, but it's so hot here and the sun is so strong, I think it'll be okay. And it might actually benefit them, so we'll see. I know I say that a lot, we'll see, or I could plant again. But my motto going into this year is going to be, if you don't try, you cannot succeed. And that is the honest truth. I can try and I can fail, and the worst thing that happens is I plant again, or I try again, or I grow something else and I learn for next year, or I can do what is exactly by the book or how I think it should be and miss out on opportunities to learn. See, it says 1/2 inch. Put 3 in there just to make sure. These are new seeds, they should come up, but like I said, the soil is quite a bit chunky, and I'm a little bit worried things will have trouble germinating. Okay, so I've got a Mexican sunflower here and over there in that corner. Whoa, that went in way easier than every other hole I've dug. Bottom leaves look a little bit rough on these, but these are the original leaves. I think the first leaves that come out on a seed are called cotyledons. I could be saying that wrong, cotyledons. But you can actually clip those off once they get their first leaf. It's just the one that they hurry up and push out so that they could start receiving nutrients from the sun. But now they have their true leaves, so it would probably be okay if I clip those off. I'm going to leave them till they fall off, but they don't look good. Quite a bit of grass in this hole. I guess the cardboard's doing its job, because if not, grass would be everywhere. All right. Now for the corn. I got my corn seeds from the Dollar Tree. I lied. I got my corn seeds from the Dollar General. This is a sweet corn early golden bantam hybrid. So actually Dollar General and Dollar Tree have really good seeds. I've had the best germination rate from those seeds. I'm pretty impressed, really. There's not many in here, so I'm definitely think I'm gonna have to go get some more. It says 4 to 6 inches apart on corn seeds, 30 to 36 inches between rows. Wow, it's pretty far. 36, 36. So each one of these are normally 3 rows, so this is 6 foot. So technically by these standards, I should only have 2 rows, but I'm definitely gonna do 3. So let me get that measured. I'll come back. Okay, so I have my rows all cut out and fixed, ready for the corn. It's definitely a workout. Sorry for the heavy breathing. I might just have to let y'all listen to something else. Holy moly, we're done, guys. We've made it. Let's do a final walkthrough and look at everything we have accomplished today. I do want to go back and plant some herbs and marigolds in here. So that'll be something you can be excited to see in the future. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Well, guys, and with that, the large garden is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share, leave me a comment about what you're growing this season or things you would like to see. I do plan on making a separate video of my raised bed garden being planted. I received a green stalk as a gift from my mom, so I will be planting that as well. I am so excited to do garden tours as things begin growing, as well as harvest hauls when I get those. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, definitely hit the subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for joining me. Happy growing.